Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and this is ninth video in Veeam Advanced Training. And in this video I'm going to show you how creating backup jobs in Veeam Backup and Replication. So backup jobs are basically a predefined jobs for backup which is automatically going to run at given scheduled time. So we are going to create backup jobs and schedule those jobs to run a backup of virtual machine at given scheduled time. So we'll see how to do it. So this is my lab environment. So we have the same three virtual machines, which is Win2K12 DC01, which is my Active Directory and DNS server. You can see from here, this is my Active Directory and DNS server. And my second server is Veeam server, which is Veeam Backup and Replication server, which is under my Victor InfoSol domain, which we have installed in second video. So here I am going on my Veeam server and launching the Veeam console. I'm going to connect to the Veeam Backup and Replication console. So this is Veeam Backup and Replication console. And the third machine which we have is Win2K12 HV01, which is our HyperV standalone HyperV server, which we have added before in our Veeam infrastructure. So this is our HyperV host and having two virtual machine on it. You can see Veeam 01 and Veeam 02 is on this standalone HyperV host. So this is the infrastructure which we are going to see. So I'm going to run my virtual machines first to just verify both the virtual machines are working fine. So let's wait to get the login screen for both the virtual machines. So both the virtual machine are running state. So let's log into virtual machines to just make sure the virtual machine is in good condition. So we have 3 servers and 2 virtual machines in this lab environment. So let's create a backup job in Veeam and we'll see how to create and how to play with it. So I'm going on my home here, and from home you can see the jobs. I'm going to right click here. Either you can go here, backup jobs, and create HyperV. So I'm going to select HyperV. And let me tell you one thing, we are not getting here Veeam option because this Veeam Backup and Replication having only license for Hyper-V. So we are going to record another videos for VMware. So this is for Hyper-V. We are going to focus on Hyper-V to create backup jobs, but both are in the same way, so no changes. So we can go and select Microsoft Hyper-V, and then we can type the name of job. So I'm going to type VM01 and VM02. And I'm going to type backup, and I'm going to type here daily backup at 8 p.m. So this is the description and this is the name of the backup job. So I'm going to click next, and now it's going to show you the virtual machines. So whatever virtual machine you want to add, you can browse your infrastructure and you can select the virtual machine. So I'm going to select 2 and 3 here and going to add. So you can see both the virtual type of is VM and size is given here. So want to recalculate, you can recalculate the size. And we have exclusions also. If you want to exclude anything related to virtual machine, you can exclude those things. Like if you want to exclude any folder, host group, SCCM cluster, host VM, anything, you can exclude this. Or if you put a star, it's going to exclude anything, everything. So on a disk you can go here and you can see disk to process is marked to all disk. So it's going by default all the disk which is attached to VM01 and VM02, it's going to backup. And if you want to edit this setting, you can click on edit and then you can specify the disk. This is typically a hard drive which having operating system, so it's going to sell, you can select that only, or you can either select the um, selected disk from where you can see all the ID disk. You will get all the ID disk options. So if you want to exclude anything, you can exclude from ID. If you want to exclude any iSCSI disk, you will get all the iSCSI paths. So if you want to exclude anything, you can go ahead and click OK, and the wizard is going to exclude it. So I'm not going to exclude anything for this wizard, so I'm going to refer this to, I'm not going to add any exclusion. And next we have is storage. So this is automatic proxy selection, which is off host backup. We are going to discuss backup proxy another video, and we are going to see how we can use the back off host backup and on host backup. So on host backup you can see something related to you run directory backup on each Hyper-V host, which is going to enable extra load on Hyper-V host. So for now I'm going to use the off host backup, which is for failover or non-host backup mode and not suitable for off available. So I'm going to leave the default, which is off host backup. So it's going to keep the backup in our any backup repository. So we have two backup repository here on this server, so both are going to, so if you want to select and different, you can select. So I'm going to select the Veeam backup repository, which is main repository for VM backup. So I'm going to select this, and we have a restoration retention policy. So retention policy points to keep on disk. So whatever you want to uh, put on disk, you can select. So I'm going to use only 10 restore point to keep on disk. So it's going to always, whenever the backup jobs it's going to run, it's going to check how many retention restore point we have to maintain, and it's change the retention restore point accordingly. So in advance we have some advanced feature which we have discussed in last video, like incremental backups, reverse incremental backup, we have synthetic backup, we have active backup, everything. So I'm going to select incremental recommended backup. I'm not going to select static synthetic backup this time. And I'm going to, you can see here from maintenance, if you want to run any maintenance like remove deleted item after 40 days. So for example, if you delete any backup, any virtual machine, how many days it's going to keep the backup files, and after that it's going to delete. So this is not recommended to put any deletion from the data from automatically. If you want to clean up anything, you can go and clean any time. So this is defrag and compact full backup. If you want to run this maintenance, you can select the date, or on a given date it's automatically going to run, and perform backup file health check if you want to run. So I'm going to mark this at monthly, and I'm going to run on weekly and on Friday or Saturday. So I'm going to run on Saturday. And if you have storage recommendation also, what type of compression which you want to do, like extreme is going to be a slow, little bit slow, but it will try to compress extreme level. So optimal is recommended, so I'm going to use that optimal. And also you have a storage target. So storage target is a local LAN on WAN, you can select from here. So my storage target is a local attached with the server, so I'm going to leave it default. And if you want to plan for any encryption file for backup, you can go here and add, and you can also create the password manager, encryption password in password manager. And notification, if you want to enable any notification for this backup job, you can use the like admin at vectorinfosol.com to send the notification related to this job. So on notify on success, notify on warning, error, and anything you can select. And then you have a hyper-v, so advanced options for a hyper-v, like use the CBT, which is recommended, which is change the block tracking data. We have also enable hyper-v guest. So we will discuss these things later on different separate video. And then we have a script, so whatever you require you can go ahead and select in advanced settings. So I'm going to select this. I don't want to set this for now, so everything is looking good now. We can go and click OK, and now we can go and select next. And then we have a guest processing. If you want to enable any application aware backup, you can go here and enable application aware backup, and you can select the VM, and then you can go to edit and you can type the like SQL, Oracle, whatever database you want to set, or any application related information. Application aware backup you can provide from here. Like if you want to take the SQL backup or Oracle, or like a required a different type of credential, so you can put the credential of those things. So also you can test like if you want to enable the guest file indexing, you can go here and you can select this, and indexing, under the indexing you will see what you want to index, like Windows partial, Linux partial, and you can edit also if you want to edit these things. So it's going to automatically index all these things. So this is good. If you want to enable, you can go here and select, and then you can set the default credential which is there, and you can apply. And I'm going to just verify the default credential is working. So how you can actually check this? So if I going to test this, you can see it's testing and it's processed for both, because my this account which we have added here, this account must have a administrative access on the virtual machine on which you are testing. So on for this, my SVC Veeam account having administrator rights on these VMs, so this is passing through and this is success. If you don't have administrator access on VMs, you must require administrator access, then you can enable this application enable guest system indexing. So I'm going to leave that for now, and next. And then finally we have a schedule when we want to run this schedule. So run this job automatically, or also you can run this job anytime manually, but I'm going to assign automatically. So this is going to be as on 8 p.m. every day, and retry failed item processing 3 times, and wait for, I'm going to give 5 minutes and wait for 2 times. So this you can verify, and then you can click on apply, and this is going to give you all the information, like here name and target and the type hyper-v backup, and source what item need to be backup, VM0102 from this place. And then we have target Veeam backup repository and target repository server and the target repository path, and then we have command line to start backup jobs, and then we have a run this job when click on finish. So I'm going to select this and click on finish. Now you can see the backup job has been started and it's coming in running state. So if I go here, you can see it's pending and it's going to run soon. So both it's showing pending and soon it's start, and then we can see, now you can see the some require a backup infrastructure resource has been assigned, and now you can see it's doing the backup. So we can go here and we can see what is going to take backup. So you can see the first machine is running and it's taking the backup, and now hard drive is started to copy. So from here also you can go and see the machines are running and it's also being backup. So we have to wait for some time to get the backup status completed. So you can see the processing rate, how much data is going to transfer and on what speed. We can see both. So backup job, you can see 5% is completed and we have all the details like data passed, how much data has been passed and read it 3.9, transferred, what is the uh, transfer data speed, and the final status we are going to get here. So it's going to take approx 10 minutes to get the backup done for these two VMs. So let's wait. So I'm going to pause the recording here, and once the backup is completed I'm going to resume and we'll see further process on this backup jobs. So now you can see it has been succeeded and you have a final status of the backup succeeded, and you can see status here also and start time and end time. So approx it's taken 2 minutes to get the backup of these two virtual machines, so it's really fast. And you can see the status here, and you can also see the busy source and what is the status and transfer data. So you can see the process data is 19.9 gig, but the transfer is 1.4 gig only. So let's verify how much data we have in our repository. So if I refresh this, you can see the backup of this size of this file for drive is 7.14 only, so means the backup has been compressed completely. And if I go here, you can see the file extension for these backups. So this is going to be a first backup, so this is going to be a VBK, which is a full backup, and then you have a metadata file which is going to be a backup chain and all the backup jobs details, so which we have discussed in last video. So we have one complete backup and one metadata backup file, and the size of this file is only approx 7 GB. So now I'm going to run this backup job one more time and we'll see how much data it's going to back up again. So I'm going to start this backup job again. So let's go here and running state, and you can see it's 0% completed, and you can see from here it's incremental. It's showing its backup is now running incremental because we have selected under the backup job that the first backup is full. Then by default Veeam is going to take a first backup full and then all the backup as incremental till the point of restore points to be taken care. So it's running, and now we have to wait for a few more seconds here. From VM01 it's completed, and from VM2 it's also completed, about to finish now. And now both the backup has been completed for both the machines, but still it's showing okay. So it's 99% completed, and now let's go to here and you can see VM01. This was the full backup which was executed first time, and this was the second backup. You can see it's taken only less than around 1 minute to complete, and you can see the transfer data has been the data which has been transferred is around 320 MB, and the the virtual hard disk which has been processed is 20.2 GBs. And now you can see we have one incremental backup file which is going to be a, if I go here under the details, you can see Veeam Backup and Replication incremental file. And if you want to see the extension of this file, let's enable the extension to see what the file extension is. So I'm going to use enable the extension, and now actually you can see what is the extension. So this is VBK file, which is full backup, and this is a VIB, which is incremental backup. So this is the way how the backup is going to run incremental. So let's run one more time incremental and see, and we will verify how much data is going to be taken care now. So again it's going to run an incremental backup and it's going to check how much data has been changed from since last incremental backup. So this is going to be based on the block change tracking system. So VM size has been tracked and change block tracking is enabled, and now it's processing for VM1, VM2 you can see, and almost done for both the virtual machines. And now it's going to be complete soon. So you can see this is also completed. So we have two incrementals backup and one full. So we can go here and see the same thing here also. We have one full backup and two incremental backups. So this is how we can set up the backup jobs in Veeam. In next videos we are going to check some advanced way to create a backup jobs like active backups, synthetic backup, reverse incremental backup, these all things. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe me for more videos. And if you have any query, any question related to this, you can always post them on my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.